I am. How you doing, Mark? Good morning from the Philippines. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, my usual witching hour. So it's change is good. Title of my little. I did a lot of live streams this week. I've done like 3. I haven't done any videos in 10 days. Anybody want to guess why? So yeah, I'll take. I'll see. We'll play 20 questions or something. Why is change good, and why haven't I not done any videos lately? There you go. Gary is coming back. Wash hands. I don't know what that means. Gary will come back. I guess anytime he wants to. That was totally, when Gary was on, that was totally impromptu, like this is. So what happens is I wake up early and then I go, I got nothing to do. So I come on and talk to you chatterheads. Good morning. Yeah, last time I had Bud Brown on, we had a lot of fun. Prior to that, I had Gary on, we had a lot of fun. And then if anybody else wants to come on that wants to join in, why not? Hey, Highwayman, what's going on there? And there is my buddy. Always good to see you, my friend. Thanks again. I don't think I acknowledged you last live stream, but thanks for the super chat. Thanks. Appreciate it. I'll buy Bud a cup of coffee. Let's see here. Good evening. Yeah, good evening to you. It's morning here. Change is good. What's going on in Canada? My favorite fishing spot. Good morning, Danny. Good morning from Alabama. What's going on, Roger? So I'll say hi to a few folks, and then we'll just kind of do whatever you guys want to do. How's that sound? Road to the Philippines. I hope your road is straight and narrow and without bumps, and it comes right over, brother. What's the best way to send packages to the Philippines? That's a good question because I'm waiting on some. I have, it's called a Balak buy-in box, and it takes 2 or 3 months generally to get here. I've got 11 of them stacked up in the storage here for a friend of mine that's, I've never met in person, but I've chatted with a lot. And he was planning to move here to the Philippines and said, hey, man, I can't let go of some of this stuff. Well, I want to send it. Can I ship it to you? And I said, sure. So I've been storing that, and then COVID hit, and who knows what's going to happen. But to answer your question, Balak buy-in box, if you want to look that up. And out here, we use a company called LBC to make that happen. As far as mail goes, that's I've got a whole horror story on that, but I'll spare you. Good morning, Florida. How you doing, David? David Leslie is a very familiar name to me. Clapping hands. Okay. What's going on, Charles? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, E-Man. Oh, yeah. I did a interview, by the way. I'll put a link to his channel. I haven't done any videos, but my neighbor Jerry interviewed me yesterday. And so I'll put a link to his channel on there in case you guys want to catch that little back and forth. Clapping hands, yeah. Yeah, me and Bud always have a good time. And he's just a good friend. You know, I'm blessed. Gary was on the show. He's been a friend for 30 years. Bud's was on the show. He's been a friend for 4 years. And my father always said, you'll probably be able to count your friends on one hand. And he's right. And so those are probably my 2 best friends. Okay, Bob. Now we'll get going. I'm just warming up. I've been waiting for you to get here. Good morning. Oh my God, are you kidding? I got nothing but time. at Tampo. I'll tell you a little story about Tampo. It was, in fact, that was a suggestion by my friend Mark to do a video about Tampo. And speaking of Mark, I'm going to be seeing him in a few hours. We're going to have breakfast, and then I'm going to go over to his new apartment and take a look at it firsthand, or new house, whatever it is he's got there on the beach. If anyone follows Mark Thornton with Every Man Has a Story. So him and I are going to hook up this morning and have breakfast. May's got somebody coming over at the same time. She's going to be doing a video with, I think, her elder sister. And what else is going on? I'm going to go check out Mark's place. And then I think we're going to try to do some videos together. And Tampo. See, I got completely off the freaking subject. Anyway, Tampo is, for those that don't know, Philippine women tend to go into a state of mind, if you will, called Tampo, where when you have a fight with them or they're upset or they're emotional, and instead of coming at you with a frying pan and, like in America, and waterboarding you until you admit that you were wrong, even though you were maybe right. What women here do is they just kind of clam up. They just shut down. And to me, it's a beautiful thing. The reason that they don't argue with you or fight with you firsthand or get in your face and all that kind of stuff like we're accustomed to in our home countries is because they don't want to offend you, number one. They don't want to say something that they're going to regret later. And it's kind of a sign of respect in a way. It's like, you know what, I hate you right now, but I'm just going to lay here and not do anything about it. And then when I feel better, I'll snap out of it and nothing will be said. That's pretty much what Tampo is. And the very first time that happened to me was I had my first girlfriend, not May, but my first girlfriend. She was real clingy and would always sit next to me on the couch and real touchy-feely and all this kind of stuff, right? And so that's all well and good the first 2 days, but after a while, if you talk to anybody out here, that starts to get a little overbearing, and it's kind of like you sort of want your space, and you don't always want to go everywhere with them. And there's just a lot of women that have that in them for whatever reason. They're afraid to let you out of their sight or something. So the very first, I did something to her. To this day, I don't know what I did or said. And she just clammed up and went into the bedroom and laid down. And I said, "Are you all right?" And she wouldn't even talk to me. So I didn't know what was going on because it was my first experience. And I called a friend of mine up and I said, "Hey, I don't want to say her name, but I said, she's doing this. She's acting this way." And he says, "Oh, that's Tampo." And he explained to me what I just explained to you. They're not going to come at you and tell you what you did wrong. They're just going to sit there and internalize it, and it's going to go through their mind, and they're not going to talk to you. They're just going to ignore you. And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "It's like a dream come true." So I went to the 7-Eleven and bought Doritos, came back and watched a football game. I said, "This is great. I've got this woman that's really pissed off at me, and there's absolutely no repercussions whatsoever." And I guess when she snaps out of it, she snaps out of it. So I always find it as a positive. Nice to see you there in Oregon. Thanks, brother. Again, yeah, I didn't say anything to you, but me and Bud were just kind of talking, and I wasn't taking comments. So we appreciate it, man. Good morning, Mark Smith. You're a young guy. Oh, good. Good. I was curious about that. Well, I can't wait to get back there. Not to live, but to visit and get together with all you guys that are out there. That's something that I'm looking forward to, big time. Every day, every now and then we need a vacation from our vacation out here, believe me. Thank you, Mr. Secret Agent. Yeah. Have I done anything fun lately? Yeah. We've been doing a lot of, well, actually, it's, I don't know if you call it fun. We've been doing a lot of productive stuff. We've been snooping around for a new dwelling. We love our apartment. Everything's cool. Mark just moved, my neighbor, and he's really happy with where he's at. And he's got this great big place on the beach, and it's got this great big room. And I'm going to go check it out today. So that's kind of put it in our minds that we would like to have an extra room or two just to kind of spread out a little bit, if you will. This is an awesome place, no problem. But with the YouTube thing going on, it's more conducive for us, especially for May, because she treats it more like a business where I treat it like a hobby. But to have a dedicated place that you can put all your stuff, because we keep acquiring equipment, if you will, like tripods and microphones and this and that and the other. And sometimes it's over here and sometimes it's over there. And we want to have just one centralized place where we might be able to turn it into like a little studio and just sort of make videos there. And I have some ideas of things that I want to do that I can't do just because of all this furniture and stuff. So, and she does too. So that's one of the changes we're looking at doing. Good morning, Wynn. Good morning, San Antonio. How's Paul's travel adventure doing today? Fisher Lord, we appreciate that very much. Thank you, sir. Shout out from Michigan for Mark Richard. LBC is the best show. Yeah. LBC is what we use out here. Again, the U.S. mail seems to take forever. That's if you're just mailing I've got a debit card that's coming from the States. Again, that's a whole long story. I won't put you through it, but it was supposed to come to me here in the Philippines, and it ended up going to someone else in America, and now they're sending it to me. And my debit card's actually expired. I ordered a new one in February, and instead of mailing it to me, they mailed it to my American address. I won't kill you with it, believe me. Anyway, the person that got it is sending it to me, and that should take about a month. But if you guys are thinking about shipping stuff over here prior to coming, and that's not really a bad idea. If you're planning on coming and you're planning on staying, and you have plans of getting a house or something like that instead of the casual bachelor pad, and you've got nice cutlery and blenders and mixers and kitchen appliances and stuff that'll fit into a box, clothes that fit you if you're a big boy. If you're a fat guy like me, it's a great idea to bring your own clothes as opposed to thinking you're going to buy it here. I was on a 3-day Easter egg hunt. I finally found a pair of shoes yesterday, and it was 3 days for me to find a size 9, if you can believe that. Yes, fellow failures, that's us. A friend of mine uses those boxes. The weight amount is insane. My understanding was there wasn't any big restriction on the weight. It was like whatever you could pack into it. And don't quote me on this, but I think it was like $70 to send a box. But they do have different. I've never sent one, so I hate to try to tell you about it because I've never actually done it. I've just been on the receiving end. A friend of mine actually went shopping for me and sent me a Balak buy-in box, and it hasn't arrived yet, but it's got what I just talked about: some clothes, some over-the-counter aspirins, the stuff that is just super expensive here. It's a potpourri of items. Some stuff for May. What's your bet on opening in the Philippines? My bet is it's going to open sometime in the future. There you go. So maybe you can talk about that a little bit, Randy, in a future comment, and kind of talk about how much that costs and how long it takes, because here's a gentleman that's actually doing it. Thank you, Secret Agent. We appreciate your sharing the love, man. Ain't easy being me. Let's see. Has a new neighbor moved in? Forgot his name there. That's Mark Thornton, and he did move out. No one has moved in next to us yet. But I do have a new neighbor, Jerry. And like I said, he's got a YouTube channel, and I went over there yesterday. So when I get done live stream, I'll put a link to that. It's about a 30-minute video of him talking to me for a change, instead of me talking to other people. The weather is hot, brother. We've been conking out in the afternoon. We just give up. We get out early and try to get what we can done. Bug out of here about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then sometimes we just look outside and we just don't go. It's just so hot. And that's why my face gets so red, because I'm driving the gay looking little scooter around. I'm just getting beat up by the sun. And so we just shine it on. And then we try to go out. Like yesterday, we went out in the evening, and we're not night people, but we went out in the evening, and that was that. Hit the like button and remember to hydrate afterwards, because it's a big effort to give me a thumbs up. It helps my algorithm. Mark is a great friend. Mark is a very good friend. Yeah. Well, how's it going there in South Carolina, buddy? Well, yeah, it's a very nice place. I will go see it firsthand. And it's right on the beach. He's got this huge empty room, which I'm really envious of too. And what else? I don't know. I'll give you. He did the outside of it. He did a video about it, but he only did the outside, a little bit of the inside, because he hasn't got it organized yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing the whole thing. Oh, the car. The car came and went, to answer your question. And that's one of the things that I'm going to do today. Is I've been holding off on the car story because I had a beginning, I had a middle, but I didn't have an end. And now I finally have an end to the car. And so Mark wants to do the video because he wants to break my balls from start, middle, and finish of the whole story. And I said, okay, I'll hold off on doing a video about the car. He wants to do it. It'll be on my channel, but he wants to do the interview, if you will, about me buying a car out here. And he wants to break my balls mercilessly. And I said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So stay tuned on the car story. Your little penite, her name is Jen. She's not using Patreon. I'm not sure why. If you can contact and get both an interview, I will. Jen is Mark's girlfriend. And I don't know if she's using Patreon or not. My girlfriend is Baby May, and she doesn't use Patreon either. Yeah. Well, I tell you, Tampo's a hell of a lot better than getting into a shouting match in front of the kids. You know, I have yet to find a downside to it. Bend at the hips, hydrate, and make sure you don't injure yourself. 90 degrees in Tampa, Florida. It's about 90 degrees here too, but it's just humid as hell. Vegas. Greg, if you're still in Vegas, when I go to Vegas, whenever that is, we will hopefully get together, and I'll buy you a cup of coffee. Or we can go to the bank where the coffee's free. Yeah, May's actually in the other room doing her morning prayers, but I'll tell her you said hi. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, the dancing machine is right. I am good, buddy. How are you? Thanks for coming along. Hi, Lee. So I'm here to answer questions if you have any. Hold on, amigo. Fun sent. Oh, okay. This is the guy I'm storing all the Balak buy-in boxes for. He's been. We should have you on the channel. You can tell your electronic funds transfer story. Poor Goldfinger. He's been having a rough month, man. I was having a rough until I talked to Goldfinger. God bless him. I don't want to say too much because I don't know what you want out there, but one of his good friends passed away and felt really bad about that. And Goldfinger is just one of these nice, empathetic, caring people. And I'm still working on that other project for you, but I haven't talked to the guy yet. So that's that. When do you start your channel? My secret channel. Yeah, that's, I haven't even done a video yet. What's happened, kids, is I've decided that this month I was not going to do any more videos on my old phone because I bought a new phone. And then I discovered after I bought the phone that it didn't have a port to me to plug in microphones. And I went through all this other wazoo stuff with some wireless microphones. And I've actually got it figured out. I needed to buy some stuff, if you will, cords, plugins so I can have a plug-in. And then I need plugins for the wireless mics because I've got to dial them in together. And I got that figured out, but I'm still waiting for those. And so May and I yesterday or the day before, whenever we went shopping, we've actually found a plug-in for the Samsung. The Samsung store didn't have any here in town, but some other little kiosk place did. And it's a Chinese knockoff, so I don't trust it. But I'm going to try it today. I'm going to do some videos over at Mark's place today. And the last video that I have posted is with the DEA agent, and everybody called bullshit on that. So his name is Chris. And so I've invited Chris to come back on the show, and I was going to read a bunch of the negative comments to him and let him deal with it. And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I thought that'd be fun. Okay. Appreciate it, Dave. That's funny. Yeah, I know. He's his budget's larger than mine. So I appreciate that. I will need a couple of shots before I go look at it. Second choice for a location to live in the Philippines. That's a great question. That's something I would love to be able to answer, but I can't because I haven't traveled enough to have any real information. I've only been over to Siquijor. I've been to Manila. I've been to Cebu. I guess if I was going to move tomorrow, I would probably go to Cebu. Even though I wouldn't like it as much as I like it here. It's because it's so cheap right now. They're about 30% occupancy in these high rises and a lot more options as far as restaurants and stuff like that. But that's just not really my thing. I like it here in sleepy little Dumaguete / Valencia. May and I plan to do a lot of island hopping, or as much as the budget will allow, when COVID lifts. And so I'll be able to answer that question a lot better, Ed, when we do go out and snoop around a little bit. We want to go to Bohol. We want to go to Palawan. We want to go to Davao. We want to look at a lot of places. So that being said, once we do bump around, we'll video from there. And second choice for a country would be Thailand. Thailand's actually my first choice. Tampa was good band. Good, she takes time to settle down, but as they don't tell you what you did to offend them, be warned, not all fellows hold back until they let you have it. You got that right. Yeah, I should have tempered that comment. Some of them, and I've witnessed firsthand. In fact, I was at a place called Gigi's back in the day, which is no longer in business, and I saw the opposite of Tampo. Some guy, I can't remember his name. I only met him once, and his girlfriend was there, and something happened that set her off. And he had just bought her a brand new iPhone. I mean, just bought her like that day, a brand new iPhone. And this is a couple of 3 years ago, I think. And she got mad at him, and she took that iPhone and she slammed it straight on the ground. So she wasn't experiencing any Tampo. And I agree with you 100% that the Tampo dealio, the downside is they don't tell you what you did. I'll go back to the comment. And so if you don't know what you did wrong, you can't make sure that you correct it and you don't do it again. I don't think any of us go into relationships here, there, or anywhere just to be in a state of discord. We all want harmony, right? So I don't know. Yes, I will. I will be your big brother, even though I'm only 5'6". I'll try to be your big brother. Let's see. Did I miss something? Let's just put it this way. I could not lift the box. Oh, yeah. That's how, okay. So that's the Balak buy-in box we're talking about. The weight doesn't matter. It's just like, it's by size, I think. And it's like $75 for one, like middle-sized size, I think. And you can pour water into it, and ship it, and it just be as heavy as hell. And they don't seem to matter. Hey, Ed. Greetings. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. And I'll be talking to you soon. Yeah. You have to be 220. And little sidebar is when Mark was looking for a new apartment, May talked to a guy and he said, hey, I know some apartments you guys can look at. So May and I went out and looked. And the house had been built by a Canadian guy, and the entire house had been wired for 110, which I guess they use 110 in Canada. And they said, but we're in the process of converting it over to 220, but you can move in right now. And I said, well, how many outlets work? And they said 2. I said, I think we'll pass. I don't think I'll tell this to Mark. Yeah, the second Tuesday of next week. We just don't know what year. That's the only thing that's out there. Yeah, we had a good time. I think, well, I guess you're talking about Bud Brown or Gary. Both of them were good. He sent 8 boxes. Okay, so there you go. Goldfinger sent 8 boxes. Feels like 27. I'm just kidding you. Cost you under $100 per box, and you're allowed 100 pounds per box. So you've got 800 pounds of crap out there in my storage area. Let's see. That's understood when I talked to LBC here in the States. He said, well, you can fit in the box for $70, no weight limit. I believe it was a few months ago when I inquired. Okay. So it's different strokes for different places, I guess, right? Because here Goldfinger is saying that it was under 100, so we'll say 70, and you were allowed 100 pounds. And Ronald said there was no weight limit, and it was $70. So we're pretty zeroed in on that. I'd never go to the beach. I shouldn't say never. May and I, a few months ago, we were on a, what do you call it? We were on kind of a roll where we were going to these resorts on the beach out in Down because they were half price. So we would go check in and it was half price was cheap. And so we would go there and we were on the beach, but I'm not a beach guy and neither is May. We're both mountain people, if you will, you know, think, think dueling banjos. And so I just find it hotter at the beach. I don't know what the deal is. And of course, up a mountain, up a hill, the higher the elevation is cooler. Yeah, I just woke up. Sorry. It's a bad hair day. I'll shower next time. Just a converter, I guess. I guess you get one of those plugs that convert. But it is 220 out here, the voltage. So that's, our stuff, American stuff works. But I guess Canadians are at 110 and probably some other countries. So you'd need one of those plugs that converts. Did I catch that dude getting murdered in Colombia? No, I didn't hear anything about it. Why don't you all show us that? Yeah, it would be interesting. Yeah, I know. But like I said, I'm not a beach guy, and neither is May. The beaches here tend to be very rocky. According to Mark, and I'll go see it firsthand, his is okay. He can walk right out and he can swim for like 100 meters with it still being shallow. So I'm going to go take my trunks with me today, and I'll go swimming with Mark. We'll see how it goes. I just, I don't know what it is. Yeah, the phone's good, Ronald, except that it didn't come with any kind of ports in the bottom where I can plug in my mic. I assumed it would, but it didn't. So I had to buy an adapter for it, which I finally found an adapter the day before yesterday, but it's a Chinese knockoff. And so I'm going to try that out today. I told myself I wasn't going to do any videos this month unless it was on my new phone. And I want to just make sure that I'm mic'd up when I do the video. And so for 2 days, actually for 1 day, I've had the ability to do that. So I'm on a live stream kick this week instead of videos. It's a long year, right? It's not a race. Maybe it's very place where we need another tour, though. Yeah, he needs to do a tour of the inside. I should hijack it and do it myself. Sneak it under him. Well, from Chile, how you doing? It's not cheap. I don't know. I've never had to deal with it. I thought, isn't there like a plug that you can buy that just goes into like a power strip? I don't know. Never done it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're very related. No one cares about Fahrenheit. Sure we do. Weather's a big deal to old guys. That's all we got to talk about. No, I do use sunscreen. It's just that I've always been a guy that tans really fast. And my skin colors really fast. I don't know why. That's pretty damn good right there. 5 a.m. OS is nothing. I actually got up at 3. Oh, okay. Thanks. I didn't know that Jen is Mark's girlfriend. Maybe a different one. This one is on Mindanao and I don't know that person. I don't know that blogger. So why don't you get a boat and live on it? Can you sail? I just told you I don't like the beach. Have anybody move there from Chiang Mai, and how do they compare the two places? Thanks. I have, yeah. In fact, I have. I have a friend named Woody who lived in Thailand for 10 years and loved it. And I think he was in Chiang Mai. I was in Phuket when I lived there. I didn't get into the specifics of any of that with him, though. We were just talking about other things. We were mostly talking about the Philippines and why he moved from Thailand to here and the changes that were taking place in Thailand. I have a friend that's in Thailand right now, went through the whole quarantine process. And my friend and now your friend, Gary, is trying to go to Thailand, but he's finding that it's easier said than done. Yeah, the Bluetooth is, you're correct, but the Bluetooth requires, with the Bluetooth mics that I got, require that I use an app that they give you. And bottom line is, I thought it was me the whole time because one mic would work good and the other mic didn't. It turns out the app is shitty. And so I had a couple of people contact me and tell me that the app is shitty. So actually you have to use the camera that's on the app. The camera's of course on the phone, but it doesn't come through clear. And so when I was playing around with it, the camera is rockstar clear when you don't go through via the Bluetooth. So I've got a way of going wireless without using the app. It's this app by Sabine Tech, and it sucks. So that's on the record. Take that, Sabine Tech. Good morning, Randy. In about a month, we're going to have the rainy season. Bahal, that's going to be one of the places we go visit when it opens up. Does anybody out there know when it's going to open up? Maybe let me ask you that question. Yeah, I am everybody's favorite grandpa, right? From an Aussie in Malaysia. Wow. There's a combo for you. Thank you very much. We like going live. I like live. I asked May if she wanted to join me, but she wants to pray. Yeah, COVID-21 about to be invented. I agree with that. Why ruin a good disaster? How's the air quality there? I spent 6 months in, I can't pronounce that, near CDO on Mindanao, and I had a problem with air quality. That's a very good question. I smoke. I don't make any bones about that. But I never had a smoker's cough, if you can believe it. But when I lived at my old apartment, I was right off of a main highway, number one. And number two, 4 years ago when I first got here, it was much more crowded. There was a lot more foreigners here. The place was just packed with people. And so the jeepneys and the big trucks and the trikes, they all run on diesel and they just belch out exhaust fumes. And I'll tell you, I spent more time ducking exhaust fumes than dogs because they would just come into your face, man. And then living right off the highway, these trucks and everything else would belch out these puffs of smoke. And kind of unbeknownst to me, if I had the front door open, those would drift in. So the first year that I lived here, I had a nonstop cough. And I thought it was because I was smoking. I thought, oh, well, it finally caught up to me. Well, when we moved up the hill here almost a year ago, the cough went away because the air quality here is really clear. It's really, really good. It's one of the benefits of this apartment is that it's up the hill. It's away from any main roads. And there's no diesel, there's nobody burning leaves, there's none of that crap. There's not all this extra smoke coming at us. And the cough cleared up. So there you have it. So that's, I guess, the answer to the question. That would be a problem with Cebu, is the traffic and the exhaust and the air pollution. So I don't think I would like that. Yeah, that's where we're going to go, Secret Agent. We're going to go there. Now, it won't be the same. I don't know what video you saw, but mine will be the usual super low quality. I don't have any drones, and I don't have any way to swoop in on a hang glider, and I won't have any underwater footage or any of that kind of stuff. But we'll try to set it up so you can kind of see. And I think we got it figured out by the time we get there. We have a whole new gimbal thing for May, and that should stabilize stuff. And she'll do one of her little walk and talks, and I'll be behind her, and I'll be interpreting because I speak May. So she'll say something and then I'll clarify it. And we'll be able to walk around and show you Palawan or Bohol or whatever and what we're doing. What's going on, Steve? How's Australia treating you? Let's see. How are the families? Oh, wow. That's been a long time since we've been up there, buddy. We were just talking about them. They are doing well. We go up there about, let's see, we went there at Christmas time. We went there at back to school. And they're actually working on another road, a back road going up there. And I know a guy that lives up by them. But to answer your question, it's been a couple of months since we've been up there. And we're due for a visit. We've been busy with other little projects, if you will, the community service stuff. But thanks for asking. They're doing good as far as I know. May talks to the lady that's kind of the matriarch up there. And for those that don't know what we're talking about, there's May and I adopted the barangay, if you will, up at the Japanese shrine. It's up at the top of a hill, and there is 23 or 24 families living there, and a total of 48 kids. And so we've done a few things up there with the kids. You don't put up with, well, Biff, rock on, Daddy-O. What do you do? What's the cure? Do you leave? Did you get any heat from the missus regarding the video and obvious with Ginga Lin? What's that mean? The video and obvious connection with Ginga Lin. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's Ginga Lin? Yes, my girlfriend 3 years did not tell me what I did wrong and still won't. We split up. Some things are not negotiable in a relationship. Well, yeah, okay. That's fair. You know, there is a degree of reason. I'll tell you one thing about May is that if she does get irritated and a little bit of tempo, hers lasts about 20 minutes. And if I ask her what's wrong, she will tell me. So that's kind of the exception to the rule. There you go. Apparently, where you're shipping from, what company you're using, what size boxes and all that is going to affect the price. But it sounds like we're getting $59, $70, under $100. So that's a $30, $40 range there to send boxes to yourself. You know, it's from what I understand, it takes about 3 months for it to get here. You see, like I just said, oh, air cargo is 2 weeks. What is that? Johnny something, right? Are the ladies at the beach allowed, or is that against the law there? I don't know if topless bathing is against. I imagine it is. It's not like Europe. And when I was in Thailand, I went to the beaches, and there were a lot of European women that went topless, but not any of the locals. And women here don't leave the house without a bra. So I can't imagine any of the locals going topless. And again, I don't go to the beach that much, but I've never seen that display, if you will. But that's primarily a European thing, I believe. It's certainly not out here. Has anyone seen Sean around? Is he still engaged to Short Province Girl? I saw Sean. I had coffee with Sean, say a week or two ago. This was a few days before he left. He went up to Cebu. And I don't know the situation with him and Short Province Girl. How you doing, Craig? Good to see you, buddy. I had to block a guy. He was being retarded. Good morning. Here we go. That's Jean-Claude. Jay-Z's name. Yeah, there we go, Biff. Balik buying shippers have different rules. LBC law has no weight limits per box, but others do. Make sure you ask. There you go. Good information. Thank you, Biff. Because, I've never done it. I've never actually walked in and said, I want to ship this. So I rely on you guys to tell the other guys on how to do it. I think you should do more of the resort tour. They were great. Maybe when things open up. Excuse me. Yeah, we're going to do that. They actually shut down Darwin till the 15th of this month. Darwin is the place where most of the resorts are at and the nicest beaches are and the marine preserves and all that kind of stuff. But there's some sort of COVID scare and they've shut Darwin down. Let's see, today is what? The 5th? So for the next 10 days, we can't do any swimming in Darwin. But the resort tour, I like those. I don't think we did a very good quality video on those tours. I think the camera work was crappy and we were having a hard time with the microphones and it hadn't been very well planned out. And I don't like to plan things out. I like to just kind of, do things on the fly. But something like that would require a little bit of organization. And so that I appreciate that. And I think it is interesting. And we will do it. May likes to do that kind of stuff. It's not really my thing. So I'll try to help her. But I think that with the new camera and the gimbal and the wireless mics, once we get all this stuff synced, which should be by the end of this month, when we do travel and go to a resort or a new place, especially for May, today with baby May, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to her channel. We'll be able to do that kind of stuff. It's not my thing on my channel, but hers it is. Paul, you just uncovered the way for foreigners to get back into the PI. Ship your yeah. Yeah, what was that? Ocean's 11 or something, where they put that guy in the box and yeah. So, yeah. Okay. See, that's stuff I don't know anything about. Electronics is not my thing. So it will say if it goes up to 121, 240 volts, you'll be surprised how many things work up to 240 volts. All right. Thank you for that, Bob. Uncle Tom, if you want to go to bed, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of places we want to go. Here, there's a lot of mountains, and we just keep looking further and further up the hill. Are you mad, Paul? I don't got a place. He'll be able to kick it. Nah, because I'll be able to go over there and mooch off of it. Are you kidding? I'll just show up, knock on the door and say, hey, can I come in? He'll say, sure. Looking for apartments out here is Mark almost gave up because it's a true Easter egg hunt. It's like buying anything else. The only way that you can find these places is to be diligent. No lie. A lot of, if you use a so-called agent, which usually isn't a real estate agent at all, it's just some person that knows 4 or 5 people that are renting places, and they say, hey, if I get it rented, you give me a commission. So that's kind of how that works. But what I don't understand is they have these tools such as forums, expat forums, Bid for Me or Houses for Rent, and only a small percentage of the people use that. I guess it's because they're not aware of them. But what's even weirder is I shouldn't say nobody, but a vast majority of them don't even put a sign up that says this place is for rent. We passed 2 places that are for rent the other day, and a friend told me those places are for rent. And I said, well, why isn't there a sign outside? And he said, I don't know. They just don't think about it. So Mark got lucky on that apartment. It was over his budget. But once he walked in, he saw what it was and said, I can make this work. And I agree, because it wasn't that far over budget. But if you're happy at your house, you tend to not go out very much. And that's where May and I blow all of our money. Not all of it, but our discretionary funds is not because we have too much rent. It's because we don't stay home enough. We go out. If you go out, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the same where you live. You don't necessarily have to go to dinner, but you're burning gas. And here, that's not a big deal, but I think in the States, it's a little more expensive, right? You're going to pull over and you're going to get a Coke. You're going to pick up this. If you walk in for the Coke, you're going to end up picking up a pack of gum and a bag of chips. And the next thing you know, you spent $20 that you hadn't figured on. And that's kind of what happens to May and I. I went into 7-Eleven twice now to load up a machine where I can put cash into, and it goes onto an application on my phone that's called Gcash. And that's a way that I pay my phone bill, or I could pay an electric bill or any other local bill instead of going and standing in line for an hour at the phone company here. I can just pay it online. Well, lo and behold, for 2 days, the Gcash machine, if you will, hasn't been working. It's offline. So my phone bill's late. Point being is that May and I walked in with a specific reason, or purpose rather, to just load up my Gcash. And while I was there filly farting around with the machine, she bought $19 worth of crap. and then we came home. So that's a long-winded story, but if you get a nice place and you stay there and you're happy, you tend to eat home more, cook more, barbecue outside. It gives you those kind of opportunities. You've got great neighbors. You just walk over to their place and hang out with them or invite them over. And so actually sometimes paying more rent for a super nice place will, in my heart and mind, will save you money. Yeah, plug adapter. That's what I was thinking. Hey, cool. San Diego. I used to spend time on Coronado Island when I was a kid. Wonder if Mark will notice the temperature different. I'm going to ask him today. To me, my humble opinion, it's hotter at the beach than it is here. He does have some big shade trees, though. My wife's friend, my friend's wife has been they send stuff in boxes all the time, but warned me that it'd be packed in computers likely to vanish. Just what I heard. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, Secret Agent. I don't know if they open those boxes. I guess they can. And I guess they wouldn't mind helping themselves to a nice new computer. Well, now you tell me. Well, I don't regret the purchase. At first, I was all pissed off, and I did. And then I found a solution to the problem. And I just, I'm really happy with the quality of the camera. The battery life is really good. So I was disappointed, to say the least, that the plug wasn't in there. I made an assumption, buyer beware, caveat emptor. So that being said, we just found a solution for the problem and moved on. I am just waiting for the other ones for the actual wireless mics. Yeah, I like doing the live streams. I like having guests on here, but I don't ever talk to you guys when I have a guest. I talk to the guests in the comments, just kind of, I just kind of shine those on. And then, but what I really like is going back and forth with you guys. It's more fun. Or it's a different kind of fun. ARL, everything's good. I'd love to see you do a video on the Stephen Paddock Vegas shooting and your thoughts on that. Funny enough, that that whole thing seems to have been swept under the rug. There's no more reports on that. And I know exactly who you're talking about. That guy, the description of that guy, this is the guy that did the shooting. What was it? The Mandalay Bay? A shooter went up in a casino in Vegas, and there was a country music festival, and the guy shot like I don't know how many people he shot and killed, but it was a lot. And then you just sort of never heard any more about it. So maybe you can fill us in. Let's see, what's the price of fuel now per liter? I think it's about 44 pesos. This is the update on the video of the car. Did you get the end of the story? I think you're saying on the car yet. I did. I had a beginning and a middle, and I didn't have an end, and now I have an end. So I guess, spoiler alert, I bought a car and I sold a car within about 3 days. So, but the details of all that, I've promised Mark he can videotape it because he wants to break my balls mercilessly about that whole experience. And I said, well, that sounds like fun. So I think we'll do that today. I met 3 different girls online, been video chatting with them for months, planning to come out, but don't know how to sort it out. So I can see them all help. I could go on for hours about that. I have no way of helping you. I have an opinion. Yeah, I know. Story. Choose one per trip, otherwise you will be disappointed. Then we're going to see you be the judge of the bathing suit competition. They're all beautiful, man. I can't judge that. They're all rock stars. They're all delightful. Do you golf? I do golf. Any decent places to golf there, or is your island just too small? I believe Cebu has some nice courses as well as Luzon. There are some golf courses out here. I did not bring any golf clubs with me. There is some guys that get together. They have a little golf club, I guess you would call it, a little set foursome, and they go out, I think, 2 times a week. I've never seen the golf courses because I don't have any clubs, and you'd need a car to transport the clubs. There's no driving range that I know of, which is what I would want. And so, yeah, I golf, but I haven't golfed here, and it's also really expensive. So it would not be in my budget, and it's just not logistically feasible. I think there's a par 3 that these guys go play. I've heard of it. I've been invited to go, which is very sweet. And I could have used the other guys' clubs and all that kind of stuff. But I never took anybody up on it. Maybe one day. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? If you want to jump in on the stream, let me know. My niece bought me some weed a month ago. I haven't smoked it in 30 years. Okay. Well, it's kind of the poor. I don't know where Claveria is. Yes, when I lived in the Philippines, every time I went into town and came back home, I would wipe my face. Yeah, man, it was brutal. And you're right, dude. It's in your face. I tend to shower twice a day anyway. Once before I go out, and then usually when I get home. And I change my shirt like 3 times a day. So the laundry is always piling up. And May changes her clothes, 17 times before she leaves the house, just on a trip to the store. But yeah, man, the soot. Now, recently with the COVID and everybody being locked down and the reduction in traffic, it has not been nearly as bad. I don't know, buddy. I don't think they'll work. I don't know. I just know that a 220 can't plug into a 110. So, but vice versa, I have no clue. I'm not an electrician. I'm sure there's somebody here that can answer that. Yeah, everybody say hi to Lynn. I am up early. It's 6 o'clock. Wow, I've been on for an hour. Should probably leave soon. Good morning. History does always repeat itself, too. Good morning, brother. Good morning, Newcomb. Nope, I haven't. I don't. I drive up there. They have a new paved road. And usually when we go up there, we carry a bunch of crap with us. So hiking wouldn't be, I'm not much of a hiker. New information. Yeah, we're talking about Tampo, and it's really just a different form of reaction to couples having little lovers spat. Personally, I find it awesome. Yeah, he's still around. He went to Cebu. Like I said, him and I never got to be real close. He hung out a lot with Gio. And so I only had like 2 or 3 encounters with him. Pleasant enough. Nice guy. And he did invite me to coffee before he left town. And I went down and we chit-chatted. But I don't know any further information. And if I did, I'd probably keep it to myself. Good morning, Tim. Watching from work, attaboy. You betcha. Get paid to watch this crap. What could be better? Yeah, you want to see more resorts? See, that surprises me. But okay. We go to a resort. You'll have to see it on Baby May's channel because, again, it's not my thing. I guess it could be my thing. But I like to interview people, and I like to just talk about what's on my mind. Renee likes to do more action stuff. So all you have to do is subscribe to Today with Baby May, and I guarantee you'll be seeing some resort videos in the future. From Guam. You play basketball at Liptong. What's my barangay? I'm in Apalong. Apalong is my barangay. There's any ladies there? I imagine. In my country, when young, I was called up a lady who gave me her phone number, and she said very much on the chance. I said, yeah, I should call you later, or there's never a better time. She said, yeah, try, LOL. I think so too. Yeah. Man's home is his castle and all that kind of stuff. So I think if you build a comfortable home or have a comfortable home and it's someplace that you want to be, and if you're a social person, you can invite people over. And again, I just don't mean to belabor the point, but I look at my monthly budget and I can think of easily 30% of it could be saved if we just stayed home more. But again, we don't want to just be lethargic and sit around and watch Netflix. But if you're like Mark, he's got the beach to go to, so there's a big benefit. He likes it. He can go swimming. He snorkels. He scubas, and I can see a lot of advantages to that. If another one popped up, even though I'm not a beach person, and it was similar to that, I wouldn't be closed-minded to it. It's just that May and I really like the mountains. We like rivers. We like fresh water. And we do a lot of stuff in that kind of setting. Well, $279 is not bad. I can remember when it was $5. Oh, man, this is a true statement here. Yes, finding that house, apartment, gym in Dumaguete is like winning the lottery. I know Ned in the Philippines dreams has been looking for a long time. But yeah, that's a true statement. You know, I used to watch Ned a lot, and I don't have anything against Ned, of course, but I don't watch him anymore just because it's not that pertinent to me. And you're right. I checked in on his channel maybe every 6 months. I just go, see what old Ned's doing, because I know he had a baby recently and that kind of stuff. And he's been house hunting for like 2 years. And what's amazing is how bad a condition someone will advertise a place, someone will put up a sign, and then you walk in and it's filthy. And it's like 300 pesos or 500 pesos to get a couple of people in there to clean it. It's $10, call it, and make it sparkle and shine and smell good. And they don't do it. So you're automatically kind of, at least I speak for myself, kind of put off by that. I look for pride of ownership, because if I'm going to be renting from a guy or a gal and they don't have any pride of ownership, how are they going to respond if I have an issue with the place? They don't seem to care now. Why would they care? They just tell me to pay for it and fix it or deal with it or go screw myself. So that's one of the benefits here at Big Rock Resort, is that the owners are living here on site. And if we've ever had an issue, they actually have a dedicated handyman, if you will, that's here on site. And he'll come right over and fix whatever issue you're having. So, that's, again, a big benefit. I do know this, and I guess it applies wherever you live, not just the Philippines, but out here, I think it's exaggerated a little bit. You really don't know what you've got until you've lived there for a month or two. I mean, it might be quiet today. It might be quiet this week. And then 2 weeks into it, the people that were on vacation move back into their house and fire up the karaoke machine. Or they buy a dog and it barks all day. Or noise pollution, starts to, not air pollution, but noise pollution starts to permeate the parameter. And so I found that to be a reality. You don't know what's really going to happen until you've had your first heavy rain. So some places react a lot different. And what else? It's just, you can't check everything when you go look at a new place. So I check things like when I go look, I check the water pressure. I check just knucklehead stuff that I wouldn't normally look at in the States because it's so consistent. But out here, things like, does that fan work? Do these plugs work? Does that switch work? What does this do? Where does that go? Are there bars on the window? If it's got an air con, does it work well? Does it function properly? And then, but it takes about a month or two to really kind of break into the place. And that's why I would never sign a long-term lease. And long-term to me is 6 months or more. I would only go month to month, which is what I had at my last place, and it's what I have here. So that if I get disenchanted or unhappy, I can give a month's notice and I can bug out and I can go find another place. And if I did find another place, I would not sign a contract. I would not obligate myself to live somewhere for as long as 6 months or a year. Now, the guys that went to Cebu, they did sign, I believe, 6-month leases on their places, but that's a different animal. They're in condos. They're in high-rise modern condos that are maintained and all that. There's no mystery about it. They're on the 14th floor. So what you get today, you're going to get tomorrow pretty much. But out here, if you rent, like you're talking about Ned looking for a house, next door could be a pig farm, and you don't see that on the advertisement. I saw places that when I first got out here that advertised they had a swimming pool, and they didn't. They just used the picture. So Balak buy-in boxes in Florida take approximately 10 weeks from Jacksonville to delivery. Wow. Unlimited weight, $85 plus price of contents, of course. I shipped 2 boxes. They just got them. That's cool. My friend John Burton sent me a package a month and a half ago. I haven't seen it. But that's about the price, somewhere between, you said $85, so somewhere between $60 and $100. Yeah, Guam and the ladies. Yeah, Upland Dave, 360 a gallon. You know, California is almost exactly 80 cents more per gallon than in Nevada. So if you're paying 360, I would say it's 280 in Las Vegas. I wonder if I'm close. Yeah, man. Anybody comes out, I'm always up to sitting down and saying hi in person. You're right. Paying more for a nicer house and being home by us, enjoying going out comes down to wants versus needs for a house or apartment. Yeah. So different strokes for different folks. My plan, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right? I had planned when I first came out here just to be a bachelor. I was going to get a really small place. I was going to just get like a studio, and then I wanted to travel. I wanted to go here and I wanted to go there and check everything out and bounce around. So what I needed at that time in my mind was just a place to hang my hat, put my luggage and unpack, take a shower and brush my teeth, sleep, and then go hit the streets, right? Well, none of that happened. What's the name of the big grocery store near your house? Well, there's nothing near my house. I have to go to it. I'm up in the mountains in Valencia, and down in Dumaguete, there is a place called Hypermart, and then there's Robinson's Mall. And then further out, there's some other mall. I forgot the name of it. I've only been in it once. Hi, Doris. Hi, from Denver. Is it mandatory to have insurance for a motorcycle? So what is the cost per month or per year? Yeah, the insurance is mandatory. It was included when I bought the bike. And then when I go once a year to renew my registration on the bike, in fact, that's due in July, that they will hook up another year of insurance. And I can't remember the cost, but it's very, very small. It's very, very limited coverage. I would say damn near 100% of all accidents just get settled between the two parties. I don't know if insurance companies even get involved. So what is the cost? It's cheap. I think to register my bike is about, if I do the express, it's like $50. And that's to get the plates renewed, the tag, and that includes insurance. So it's a pretty nominal fee. I don't even include it in my budget videos because it's just one of those things that's in my $100 miscellaneous category. I have not seen a snake yet. I've yet to see a snake in 4 years. Minimalist lifestyle to focus on what matters most. Can the babes handle it? I don't know what you mean by can the babes handle it. But a minimalist lifestyle is, I guess it depends on the babe, right? What's minimalist to you might be everything to her. Yeah, Gcash. What a pain in the ass. I can't put any money on my phone. For 2 days now, the computer's been down. That's no fun. I wonder if the landlords don't put up for the rent is because they may advertise to squatters. Maybe not. Seems silly to us. I never thought of that, but that's a possibility. Somebody just might move in. That is a possibility. But I was chatting with a couple of guys. It seems like I'm always chatting with somebody, right? I guess I always am. And we were swapping rent stories because a couple of these two guys had just recently moved. And my one friend went to a place that had 10 apartments and they were all vacant. And they wanted $12,000 a month per unit. And he said, how about 10,000? And the guy said, oh no. And he said, well, wait a minute. How about if I pay you up for an entire year up front? And instead of the rent being 12, it's 10. So I'll give you right here, right now. We signed a lease. He wanted to sign a lease. I wouldn't, but he wanted to. I'll give you 120,000 pesos, 10 times 12, and we'll have a deal. And the landlord said no. He was holding out for 12. Meanwhile, he's got 10 empty units. It's not like there was 3 people waiting to get into this place. He hadn't rented one, and he wouldn't take 10,000. He would rather let it sit empty and ask for 12. So there's some of the logic for you. We were talking about cash flow. Let's see. Calavera is on Mindanao. He's known as the little, oh, I didn't know that, because up in the mountains are cooler. Okay, well, thank you. That might be one of the little spots that we try to go find. Huh. Now, CDO is a place I want to go to because it's close, and it's in the northern part of Mindanao, so it's safe. I think the Vietnam arms dealer just lost a lot of money. I don't know what the dealio was with that guy. He, from what I understood, he was a gambler, and he seemed to make a decent living. He had a nice house. He did have a Filipina. I think she was in the Philippines when he did his little massacre deal. And I think they questioned her. Of course they would. She didn't know anything about it. I think the guy just snapped. I mean, what normal person does that? Yeah, the car story is funny. The car story is really funny. And I think the way we're going to stage it is going to be really funny too. I like funny. I remember the shooter's girlfriend was from the media, no traction. Think it racist. No, I don't think it was a racist thing, boss. She was here. He was a old white guy like me. And from what I understand, he was halfway successful. And what possesses somebody to go up and plot and plan all that? What's even weirder is that there's been no official, to my knowledge, there's been no final report on what the FBI and the police found. They're very tight-lipped about it. I don't know why. I own a house, average price, still huge. Oh my God, crazy. But track every dollar I spend. More months than not, there is an extra 1,000 spending on something. That's life. Yeah, man. It's the same everywhere. If there's the guys out here that can live on the low budgets, the writers, the painters, the readers, they tend to stay home. They tend to stay a little bit more to themselves. They may not be that social, where they're going out drinking or going out eating or going out on scuba diving trips. They just kind of guys that are retired, and it's their hobby could be anything from writing a book to playing their guitar. I know one guy just stays home and he loves to play the guitar, and he practices his guitar, and that brings him joy. I know another guy that likes to build like model airplanes and things like that. So he sends off for those, and he has a great time. I say follow your bliss. If you have one of those hobbies, that's your purpose in life, and you want to build a little locomotive thing, rock on. Play your guitar, rock on. Other guys want to go out every day and drink themselves into oblivion. Have a good time. That's more expensive. Greetings. Oh, it's cold in Colorado, huh? Nice to see you, Kat, as always. Voltage, and it was terrible, constantly. Oh, I bet it did. Yeah, the situation out here is good. I've never had an issue with any plugs or outlets, except for when they didn't work. Greetings. Paul is now forced to gold. Paul is now forced to gold on the computer. Oh, golf on the computer. Okay. Yeah. In fact, a place called Bamboo Bob's, from what I understand, has a golf simulator. And I used to use those when I was playing to find out, clubhead speed and all that kind of stuff. And I was taking it seriously. And from what I understand, it's a lot of fun, but I haven't been out there. Afraid I'll throw my back out. Are you in Vegas, Kat? I thought you were in Colorado. Okay. Vegas is open. That's good to hear. We are open one day and then we're closed the next. That's exactly how we are, Kat. Honest engine. I just got a notification today that if I want to go swimming in Darwin, I can't because they decided to close that until the 15th because of some outbreaks. And there's also the vaccine. They came out with some vaccines, and I think they ran out in 30 minutes. So all these people, like I'm not actually, even being a foreigner, I'm on the priority list to get the vaccine. And some guys that I know went and lined up. They got there early. They got their name on the list. Everything was legal. Everything was lined up. Everybody knew who everybody was. And they ran out of vaccine after 30 or 40 minutes and sent everybody packing. So I said, you know what? I'll just wait till they get this organized better. There you go. So David, if you're listening, like on your car radio, the voltage was a killer for sensitive electronics, computer chips, etc. But the new computers are built to handle the multiple voltages and fluctuations. That's a good point. Good morning. St. Petersburg, Florida. Welcome along, Freddie. Thanks for coming in, man. You're stuck in Chesapeake. 90 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. As of yesterday, less than 2% has been vaccinated. As you know, vaccine fatigue is setting in and people are getting careless about masks. What's vaccine fatigue? Is that in the States or here? Because I was just talking about vaccines before I posted this. I didn't even know it was here. But 2%, yeah, that's true. Like I was saying, a bunch of guys, not a bunch, but several guys that I know went to go get their vaccine shot. And they ran out of whatever they had. And vaccine is setting in. Vaccine fatigue is setting in. Well, I thought Fauci said you don't have to wear a mask outside or something. You'd think, yeah, huh? Oh, yeah. India. You know, it sort of surprised me when all this first hit was when I first heard about COVID, and then it got further and further and further into it. And then we were all placed in quarantine. Remember those fun days back in March, April, May last year? I kept waiting for India to light up. I've never been to India, but I do know that it's just got open sewers and a zillion people and unsanitary conditions. And I thought that place would just be on fire early on. And now it finally is, unfortunately. But I'm just surprised that it took, that it wasn't one of the, because I heard about Italy had to shut down, America was shutting down, Britain got a new strain. So all these developed countries were having the big COVID issues. Maybe it's because so many people flew in there. I don't know. Maybe not that many people traveled to India. I have no desire to go to India. What about you guys? It was the Mandalay Bay. Okay. No kidding. That's right. Did he kill himself? Yeah, that's right. He did kill himself. I thought the cops shot him, but no, he did kill him. I forgot. See, I already forgot. It was the Mandalay Bay. It was a country music festival. He was blasting people from the window. He had programmed it out. He had timed it out. I think, Vegas, I lived in Vegas for a long time, and there are a number of suicides that occur every day in Vegas related to gambling. and they keep that on the down low. It's never on the news because the casinos run the place, and they don't want that reputation. Yeah, we're talking about diesel fuel and smoke and all that. And May, we live up here in the mountains where it's fairly clear and all that. Every day, May mops and sweeps the floor, and it's just covered with dust. And I have a fan overhead, and once a month, we got to get on a ladder and clean all the stuff off of it. So there's a lot of pollutants in the air. Oh, good for you. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the vaccine because if it's available, because I got the feeling I'm going to have something in order to travel. And here they're giving us cards and just get it laminated. And it's like, here's my pass. Take a picture of it, put it on my phone. And they don't have anything sophisticated like an app. I'm good, John. All right, kids, we're going to wrap it up in 6 minutes. We're going to wrap it up in 4 minutes. It's an hour and a half. Nobody needs to listen to me for more than a half an hour, much less an hour and a half. Okay, I'm an electrician by trade, electrical engineer by profession. You can't plus 100. I think you mean plug 110 device into it. It will blow up. Okay, well, there's a good reason not to do it. I appreciate you giving that clarification because I know nothing about it. How to set up fast ACR accounts, license, SSRV. Are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about, boss. I think the answer is fixer. Just use a fixer for everything. There we go again. Yeah. See, I didn't know any of that. All my stuff's 220 and the outlets here are 220 until I walked into that one house and the whole thing had been wired for 110. And they were in the process of trying to convert it. And that sounds like a fun job. Good morning. Too many scammers just to make more money. George, yes, we have several of the things that do get plugged in inadvertently, especially by abuse. Good morning, George. So, kids, I'm going to cut out of here in 4 minutes. I appreciate everybody that came by. I have not answered, as usual, all the comments. So I'm sorry about that. I will put a little link, though, into a video that I was in with my neighbor. I will find his link. And I have to let this thing run for a while before I can actually turn it into a video. And I'm sorry I didn't get to all these comments. As usual, my mouth went a lot longer than it should have. So I'm just scrolling through them real quick. Here's a guy I haven't seen in a long time. You've been I said I haven't seen you in a long time. I thought you were mad at me for some reason. I think you were mad at me. I think I said something that made you mad. And now you've come back to daddy. Good for you. It's nice to see you. I've always enjoyed you, Canine. And my feelings were hurt when you left, but I'm glad you're back. Welcome back to the team. It's my buddy Jim Burns. I always want to say hi to him. There's anti-vaxxers. Well, let's see. I'm so happy. My friend Canine is back. These are guys that I knew, when the little channel started. And for whatever reason, I can understand you getting bored with me, though, Canine. It's okay. And Mr. Ron is here, as always. We always enjoy Mr. Ron. And he's always a big supporter. And here is Pierre Jean-Claude. Aha! The man that has a crush on me. And I don't blame you, Jean-Claude. Anyway, I'm out of here, kids. Thanks for joining in. This was impromptu. I'm not sure what we talked about, but I'm sure it was just fascinating. And I'm going to put a little link into Jerry's video that he did with me, a little interview. And nobody asked me the question that I wanted to be asked, but that's okay. We'll catch you next time, and see you on the next video, huh?